a Quickster's reheatable quarter pounder with cheese. Now I'm doing it with a panini press because, well, to me it just makes so much more sense than putting it in a bloody microwave. Not to be kind of an imitation Stuart Ashens here, but yeah, I'm going to be kind of reviewing what this product is like after I've cooked it in a way that's not specific to the packaging. The good thing about the panini press is it's meant for toasting bread, so when I put my two halves of the bun on here to toast, they should toast just fine. And then of course we have this interesting looking patty here, which appears to only have colouring on one side. I don't even know if this is made of beef. Let's check out the packaging. Instructions: beef fat, textured soya protein. Okay. So I don't think this is even actually a beef burger. So it's a quarter pounder. It's just not of beef. It's soya protein flavoured with beef fat, which would I don't know. I have no idea what this is going to taste like, to be honest. I've not had many of these. I remember having a Rustler's burger a good year ago or so. So there's that. I'm also going to be adding some additional things into this burger. So I've got Wild Rocket here, and I'm going to chop up some onion to go in it as well, because I want to make it nice. I want to enjoy eating the damn thing. Otherwise, there wouldn't be much point. But the whole reason I am eating it is because it goes out of date today, so it's kind of a now or never situation. Just checking the toast status on the bottom of the buns. I probably didn't get that in frame, did I? Of course, I've got the old Quickster's plastic cheese slice that's going to go on top. Some light browning, but it's not really doing that well. It's kind of concave in the middle. You see how it's kind of turned into a bowl shape. I don't mind that. It should help it when it comes to actually putting the burger in the sandwich. It'll help to contain the whole thing. But ultimately, it's not toasting very well at all. Okay, we've got some grill marks there, but that's the issue with toasting buns, is they tend to go all soft. Like, if you compress it, you can get that even toast across the whole surface, but otherwise, you just end up with a problem. Starting to sizzle, but if you can hear. In fact, no, I think that's just the sound of the machine itself. You only want to mildly toast it, and I can't be bothered to wait all day for these things to toast, so I'm going to put these to one side, and then I'm going to get the patty. Oh, that's starting to sizzle. And if we close the grill, we can grill it from both sides and reheat while I get my onion. Sizzle my nizzle. Kind of smells like beef. That would be the beef fat element, of course. You know what? I just want to have to go and get out the fish slice, but I'm going to overturn this and see what it actually looks like on the other side. Okay, so it's kind of starting to brown. So I guess I might be doing some of the job right. This is starting to look like actual cooked burger, and it's starting to look like one as well. So I'm going to put this on the plate next to my roll, because with a burger, I always like to start off with a foundation layer of some kind of salad, because then the burger sits on the leaf and it stops it from flying away. Onion always goes on top. I don't know why. I think it's because it mixes with the cheese and adds to the flavour. It's not hot, but it's mildly hot. You know? It's not insanely hot. Oh, that's a thing actually. I wasn't going to put that in the sandwich just yet. What I was going to do was... Okay, so somehow I've made a mess of packaged cheese. But the plan was I'm going to try and kind of partially melt the cheese on the top of the patty. I hope to do that by heating up the patty, but because it's some kind of soya protein cake, it doesn't heat evenly or anywhere near in the same fashion as ordinary meat would. So it's proven a bit more difficult to control. But hopefully just, you know, a bit more light toasting on the bottom. I'm seeing the cheese start to conform to the shape of the patty already. And then hopefully we'll get a nice... Now, in fact, if I lower the top so it's ever so slightly above but not touching, the heat radiation between the two should kind of melt this cheese a bit. You see what I'm going for. So for my other ingredients, I've got some pre-prepared red onion. I'm going to plop that in there, like so. And I've got some jalapenos that I want to add. Because jalapeno peppers add a wonderful level of spice to it. Just a small handful. You get the idea. And then finally the ketchup. Quicksters ketchup. I assume this is ketchup anyway. It's kind of got a bit of a translucency, which I didn't expect from a tomato sauce, such as ketchup, which is usually very dense, but this looks pretty good to me.
Right, so I guess it's time for me to actually eat my creation. I should say my creation. I mean, it was Quickster's idea to make one of these things. I'm just the person who's eating it. Once again, I'll go over the included ingredients. I've got a base of rocket, I've got the patty, followed by cheese, red onion, jalapenos, and of course the included ketchup. The patty's of course made of some kind of soya cake that's been flavoured with beef fat to make it taste like a beef burger. I'm assuming that's been done for longevity reasons, because regular meat doesn't tend to have too much of a shelf life, so this stuff would probably last a lot longer and would probably have more consistent flavour. You know what, that's not bad. The one thing I will say about this burger is it does kind of, I think it's the soya presents kind of a bitterness, or I might be confusing that with my red onion, but I'm fairly sure it's the meat that this is coming from. It just kind of tastes slightly synthetic, but beyond that, it's actually not a bad sandwich. I mean, especially when it's been dressed up with salad. I mean, I know it said it on the box, and it doesn't necessarily come with the damn thing, because salad certainly doesn't keep. But, you know, it makes all the difference. And, you know, I might even make a video to this, following up with my ideal burger. Right, I have a drink on the side, but I'm not going to do that until after the video is finished, because I figured I might as well wait. I've finished the burger. It was quite average, I'd say. It was kind of the same sort of quality, I would say, that you'd get from a burger van, if not slightly below. Because burger van burgers are actually made of meat, it's sad to say. You know, it's depressing for the meat world to have something that's not made of meat taste almost as good. You know what I mean? I mean, I know that's what they're trying to do these days. And this is still made with meat juices, it's made with beef fat. But you see what I mean? So yeah, I'll probably talk some other time about my favourite way of cooking burgers.
Hello everybody, it's me, Bertegue, and I'm cooking burgers today. More specifically, these burgers. The best ever burger from Aldi. I'm going to do it with some onion rings. You can actually see that, it's in frame on the chopping board. What you can't see, oh, you can actually see that as well. I've got some tomatoes and some lettuce to go actually in the burger. This is the stuff that I'm going to be basting it in once the burgers are seared in this skillet. Cook. I'm going to be battering the beers in a homemade beer batter that I'm currently putting together now. I'm using approximately half measures each, as in like equal amounts of cold beer and flour, mixed together with salt and 1 egg in a bowl. As for the fish that my sister's going to have, it's been pre-floured here in this bowl. I'm going to then dip it into the batter and then straight into the fryer and do some of these chips. And it's going to be very nice. Now when it comes to just like cooking things like this, there's not really any magic to it. You just put it all together in a bowl, mix it together, and if it looks good then great, you've done a great job. So for the beer batter, flour in first. I've got my salt already in there. And I take the egg. I'm going to try and do the one-handed method.
Well, I appear to have screwed up the one-handed method. Surprise there. All the egg into that bowl. And then we whisk in the beer until we have a nice crispy batter. Oh, well, not crispy, not quite just yet. But the beer, because it's carbonated, is the active ingredient in this. It's going to give it that lightness that we want. It's looking like batter, I guess. Smells like beer, so I'm on the right track. Whisk in the sink, we're done with that. Right, now I'm going to get the piece of fish. I'm going to sear it off in the fryer. I have a deep fat fryer here, which is essential for making battered anything. So I'm going to take the fish, I'm going to dunk it in my batter, like so, skadoosh. Then I'm just going to sear it off in the fryer real quick, just enough to get a bit of a coating on it. And then I'm going to dump in some chips for it. Some chips in the batter. Let it sizzle. In the meantime, we're going to get started on the burgers. Bring on. Let's go with kind of a medium heat. This doesn't really have gas marks on it, so I've kind of got to eyeball it in that respect. I'm just going to make sure the fish isn't trapped or stuck, because I hate for it to be stuck to the basket, because it looks pretty good. Yeah, there's no way this fish is coming out raw. No bloody way. No way in heaven. No way in heaven or hell is that Bertegue a nice smell. How's the fish and chips looking? Let's give you an overhead. Look how gorgeous that looks. Gorgeous golden brown and sizzling. I'm actually kind of envious. I think it's a perfectly good time to plate up. I'll take the fish and chips. I might as well take the plate 2 eggs. Actually, this is really hot. Why is everything so hot in this kitchen? Hopefully we don't lose chips. Oh, look at that. That looks perfect. Not to float my own boat, but yeah, this looks pretty good. The first time that I've ever cooked fish and chips like this. It's only the second time I've made beer batter before, and that looks real crispy. Real crispy and real good. This is probably quite a large portion. Right, so we've got a hot skillet. Time to get the burgers in. Otherwise, we'll never eat burgers at this point. This thing at the ready. Right. Dump. Got burgers in the pan. One here. Just going to lightly press to make sure there's full surface contact between the burger and the pan. That is pretty bloody important. Now, because these are beef burgers, the fat in the meat will hopefully come out when you cook it and serve as kind of an oil layer. The thing about burgers is they kind of cook themselves when you skillet fry them, and the main reason for that is because it kind of lifts off the bottom of the pan. So you know when to move it, because it's when the burger itself has decided it doesn't want to stay in the same spot anymore. I think I flipped them a little too early, but as you can see, they're definitely cooking. So what I'm going to do is pan-sear them until they're cooked, and then to get the sides and the middle, I'm going to put my base in there, which is of course this butter, there's a crushed garlic clove, sprinkling of onion and some rosemary. Rosemary! Hopefully the caramelized onion will impart a flavour in itself. I'm just going to test something. If you can cover onion in flour, and it does kind of work. I wonder if this will help with my onion rings. So I'm just going to kind of muddle these in here while I'm waiting for the burgers to finish searing. Because this is going well. better than most of the times I've made burgers and chips. Ooh, that was explosive. Starting to get this brown looking effect, you see that?
That little caramelization of a meat, that's what we want to see in a burger.
Right, so I think it's come the time when I turn the heat real down nice and low and I throw in my base to really give the burgers some proper, pack some punchy flavour. I mean, it's already got the very dominant presence of the beef in there. The bone marrow as well. It says bone marrow extract in the burger, which gives it more flavour. There's already that going on, so you're kind of thinking, what more could you do? Well, the answer is, I can do a lot. It's this. We're going to throw it in just now. I'm doing what I like to call the Catherine wheel technique, which is angle the skillet towards one side, let all the juices drip to the bottom, have this end over the flame, so it's cooking only this side of the skillet, and essentially just revolve the burger in the juices so that the sides and the bottom, or at least part of the bottom, are cooked on one side. And then just do this until the sides look like they have been seared just as much as the burger. Flip it over and repeat the process. Obviously switch your patties around at some stage. You've got the burger itself and you've got this this kind of little relish thing going on. Right, and I think that might be our burgers done, so we can take this off the heat, turn it off, transfer the burgers to a tray. This is useless now, we no longer need it, so that can do its own thing. So what I'm going to do now is, with my freshly cooked burgers, I'm going to let them rest. So I'm going to take some cheese, put some cheese on the top, and I'm going to let them rest in the oven at 90 degrees. Let that cheese melt, and then that gives me some time to cook up some onion rings to go on top, and some chips. Just going to dump them in. I can go for just under half a basket, because half a basket of fries feeds 2 people easily. So I want to go just under that, because I'm not really in a peckish mood tonight. That'll do it. There's just this one, right? There's just this one here that just sticks out, and I have no idea why. And now we wait. Suppose now I've got to think of some witty banter. Oh, actually, I'll tell you what I could do. Is dunk my onion rings into my beer batter, which is now starting to separate, good lord. Which is not good. There's quite a lot of batter here. I think I always make too much batter, but then again, you need enough batter to cover what you're going to cook. So, it's kind of all reflexive. And one thing I'm going to do to this batter, now that the fish has been cooked, is I'm going to add a sprinkle of sage. Just a sprinkle of sage. As you all know, sage and onion is like a match made in heaven. There. Sagey wagey. I'm going to sage war. Sprinkle of black pepper in there as well. And that's some flavour to the batter. These are lightly toasted aubergines rolls. Because I only choose the finest for my burgers. Having a base of lettuce to me is pretty normal. Make sure it doesn't kind of fly all over the place. It's weighed down by that burger. Then you've got the pressure of that huge piece of meat.
Now, as you can clearly see, the patties are starting to have that cheese, that lovely cheese, melt over the top of them. The lovely, meaty, cheesy mascaroni. I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, just a quick remark about frying things in general. The best results are when, like, if you're using batter, the batter has to be cold, and the oil needs to be as hot as possible. Otherwise, you don't achieve the bubbling reaction that you want in order to get a lovely, light, crispy coating. It looks like it has actually been achieved for this, because the oil was already hot when I did the fries, which are plated up and probably getting cold now. Nope, they're fine. Yum. Right, so we have our wispy, crispy onion rings. Yeah? Don't they look good? Right. Time to get them on the plate, I guess. It's the best way to do this. Let's put the basket down. Let's try to gently transfer them. Because you've got to remember, these things are still covered in hot grease in the cooking process. So they need a little bit of TLC, if you know what I mean. If you're not going to burn your own fingers off. Right, let's find one that isn't stuck inside another one. And then these ones I'm just going to put on the side. There. So, well, if I put the tops on, this is it. This is the best burger I can make. Whoa. Well, wasn't that swell? If you're wondering what the hell just happened in that video, I can honestly say I don't really have a clue either. That was a piece of filming I did several months ago. I just wanted to do a cooking video on burgers, so I thought it'd be funny and kind of cool. And here we are. I can honestly say that I do not regret a single second of what I did in that video. But seeing as my genius is never ending, I have a final event for you today. As you can tell, there is an item presence in this particular frame, or series of frames, because that's what a video is, right now that you should be intrigued by. It is the source of all intrigue in the universe. The hat. Yes, the time has come to select a new name from the hat. So, shall we see what this mystical dome of mysticality has to offer for us? The same rules apply, peopleinis. Hand goes into the hat, and without looking, I shall swirly-whirly my fingers. I'm very good at that. Well, dearest of me's, it appears I'm confounded. There is but one name in the hat. Resident Evil. It has come for the time for me to return to that marvellous game and finish it forthwith, or at least make some degree of progress, because I think it's been too long since I did a good Resident Evil episode. Yes, I know, I still haven't edited the second, and I believe there is a third one somewhere. But, you know, it's on the way. I'm just getting to it amongst all of this other pifflery that I have backed up in my freaking drives. And why is my hair so bouncy today? What is this? There's not even any product in this. This is just doing this on its own. But yes, as I've let my life be governed by a fashionable piece of headwear, my time with you lovely people is limited. So without further ado, I will bid you an excellent day, and thank you for visiting the Bertegue 5 channel. I will see you in the next time. Good night!